protect my nation. As a non-elected enlisted volunteer at 18 after high school. So. Oh, who's got that Pink Floyd album?
Nobody's for sale.
Oh, I don't even have a recorder. Man, I would, but I ain't got a recorder. But everybody steals my shit, you know. Every time I buy something, everybody steals it. Is that fun?
Where do you stay at?
A castle. Yeah, because of parties and tweakers and up all night partiers that don't leave because they got nowhere to go because the castle's way cooler than they've ever felt existing.
Right.
I'll show you, but I already showed the security.
Oh, your castle.
Yeah, I got it. I'm throwing a party for Terrell Owens if he can stop doing drugs until his party. Who's Terrell Owens?
Was he a basketball player?
Superstar wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys back in like 10 years ago. Still the best. Still the best. I used to be. I'm more of a Bears fan. But my first football team I went to was when I was 9. It was a St. Louis Rams game. So now I just do top secret government work for the VA.
Top secret work.
Yeah. Do this stuff. Everybody else is just old dime vets. Yes, ma'am. As they killed 6 members for killing Osama, I still lived in Cancun for a 2-day weekend. This one. Awesome, thank you. Oh, this is your copy? There you go. Right here. Do you have a spoon now?
It's right in that back.
Oh, yeah.
How you been doing?
Thank you so much. All right, already. Welcome. I'm your post 9/11 fucking war declared hero. How you doing?
Where you got to go?
No, I know where. Yeah, I got it. What, the
Get your
armory?
ID?
Is it down the road?
Yeah, right. It's Federal and then Wilshire Boulevard. Right in the corner there, there's the Reserve Center.
Okay.
And the second gate. You go down Federal right there on Wilshire. Second gate, there's a buzzer. You buzz it and you tell them what you're there for, they let you in.
All right.
You discharge, you get your 214 and an award letter or something saying that you're retired or an award letter saying you're 100%. Whatever.
Yeah. I need to get all those. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Easy, brother.
Oh, no, I know you ain't be back. I'll tell him have a good day.
I said the government shut down and I'm a World War II veteran. Does that make sense? What part does it? The government shut down or America's flag surrendered to fucking Britain? I don't owe Britain nothing. The Queen owes me a blowjob. You hear that, Queen? Queen Elizabeth, you owe me a blowjob for saving your country of terrorism. Or Meghan Markle. We give her back because she's not a slave over there, so don't make her one. Oh, and Kate, she could be my wife because I guess you pansy ninnies don't know what a real war zone is. Welcome to my America that I don't shut down. Welcome, new American citizen. Your World War II veteran is here safely providing cover for you as you're allowed to live freely about the world.
Yeah.
In
and
protection.
I'll bring
If your country ever tries to steal you back, guess what?
No, I'll bring
We
the
would blow up
care.
your country and bring you back.
I'm here to bring the care.
So, what
Was
is...
a caregiver to my mother. She had Alzheimer's disease, and I'm good.
Good.
So this is why, even though I'm a pharmacy technician, I think as a caregiver, so you guys don't miss anything. It's a war,
Yeah. Not on our land.
but I'm down.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop me. Just help you all. Advocate for you.
Well, to my knowledge, the Air Force has 26 satellites around the globe that Russia doesn't even know.
Good, as long as they don't know. Sorry.
As I said, that's top secret. The most top secret.
As long as they don't know, I'm fine.
So, my Air Force committed me as the top secret airman at 18, right? Marines maybe secret. Marines maybe just here, go kill them over there. We'll move you over there safely. Go kill them. We might bring you back or not. Or dead or alive, or just tell your family you died in training
Yeah.
during an incident of killing Osama bin Laden. Or they never died. And it's just a fake made up story to protect our asses. As I said, I could have been one of the pilots moving those guys in. It's all the same. Theory of flight. Theory of mystery. Theory of darkness. And yet, thank you. So I got kicked out of the Air Force, couldn't get a job. Why? Well, I have more skills than most generals in the United States that were in World War II, World War III, Vietnam, Korea, anywhere in Iran, past George Bush Jr. to today. Because George Bush was only a reserve pilot to his dad's Air Force. That he was in World War II as a pilot, but got crash landed somewhere in Siberia and got picked up by a U.S. submarine. That doesn't make sense. Because his technology doesn't make sense. He's dead. Supreme ruler is now George Bush, but he stole trillions of his taxpayers' money. And the war's not over, declared mission accomplished, because spending's outrageous. Now the war's about spending and not collapsing the world economy. As the Democrats are running out of their own money that the government can't get them because of that promise that they're elected. They're only a promise to the veterans. Active duty, they don't get paid because there's no money to pay them to feed them. I mean, that's any war leader, any world trying to take over the world with a bunch of men okay? When I was 18 in 2004, I thought it was a big deal that I was making $12,000 a year as a multi-billion-dollar aircraft maintainer. Up and down the chain, top secret to up and down, right? In any forest that the branch needs more service to. So then $12,000 a year. I got fucking bitch ass people that are educators saying we're striking for our students so we can make $80,000 to $100,000 a year with 3 months of vacation, 4 months of vacation plus they're at $100,000 a year. I got a soldier that's dead right now. Yesterday, he barely made $1,300  1 month tax free. Does he ever get to educate anybody? No. No. This government shut down. I don't give a fuck about teachers right now. When a Marine recruit is like, you're only 17, you'll die in honor of your country. Young man, I said, I haven't had a life yet because I've been enslaved into your school system. Now you want me in your war system. And now you want me in your fucking federal attached slave system for pennies on a federal dollar to work for the feds? As public school teachers make $80,000 to a retainer at 2 years and then can't get fired because their union backs them up with government tax-paid federal dollars so kids can go to school, or the other route, prison at $40,000+ a year, to the 2-point-something million that go retarded with drugs as we go broke to the negative $20+ trillion as the only guaranteed person that gets paid is the rich. Yes.
I have to go back.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate the talk. Do you have a lighter, sir? I hope that fuckhead didn't fuck with my phone. Ugh. Ugh. Now my phone's up. Right. My phone up and disappeared. Nah, it's just right here. How you doing? Google monitors these and sends it to the NSA, and then the NSA sends it to its target. I said, what am I supposed to speak about when I have 18 years of military experience and then high school? Who the fuck wants to be my friend? Not even my government wants to be my friend. Who's got these? Authority? You guys taught me how to break out of these at Sears School, right, John Kennedy? So who's the smart asshole? The one that fucking got trained at $6 million a year by government taxpayer money. With the government shutdown and a lack of pilots in your Air Force anymore because they're tired of getting paid pennies while airline pilots are fucking living civilian free and not worried about all the stress of corporate FAA war killing pilots. Do the $250,000 an hour on an F-22 for practice. Y'all did it to yourselves, you fucking heathens. Fucking send all the fucking planes to the Boeing yard. I'll start a new Air Force. No Army. We can keep the Navy called the Air Force Navy. And then Marines. You might as well name the Air Force Airmen just Marines. Okay, we'll get that from Halo. Doesn't make sense. Marines go everywhere, right? Marines through space. Right? Marines kill Starship Troopers. Marines, okay? God, we live in the future. We don't need the 5 branches of government. We need one fucking top-covered Air Force government that protects its historic valued heroes of this nation under God. And then each man, really, to a certain number of top secret and census data, will protect thee with utmost Look at Swedish. They have an air force to defend themselves against Europe. So is the Swiss, so is the Belgium, so is Germany. But we got bases in all the fucking countries. 600 bases across the world that Americans own. Who owns that many bases across the world, period, in time? Not a goddamn person. And guess what? There ain't no World War III hat. I bet you that dollar. Bush, you're getting tried on war treason for the killing of Saddam Hussein. To my knowledge, there's no weapons of mass destruction over there. You have the key to the power of the truck. And all those politicals that like to fuck you. And then those guys that are active duty that don't believe in reservists, part-time stunt pilots that know how to push a button, can't even fix their own fucking jets of the Air Force. So, Trump, if you can, put Mr. Reservist Air Force fighter pilot in front of the Senate Arms Committee and ask him the questions of what a WMD in Iraq and where did he get that information. And put Dick Cheney there with Condoleezza Rice and those guys in the Joint Chiefs of Staff that was on his cabinet. Please, please. And then guess what? You will have your answers to your questions, and then we can reopen this government once we take and federally hang George Bush Jr. on YouTube. As we rename everything not George Bush. Tollway system in Texas. And we'll just take all his assets, Halliburton, and we'll put it as the United States Air Force Department of Homeland Security and Resource Management. As I said, this is how the rules change in my government. I'm the only one who can physically, actually, mentally protect it once all you older than me fucks die. Once all of you older than me fucks die, we'll go back to a true fair system. Okay? So, football players don't need to make all that goddamn money. They don't fight for America. They fight for a fucking terrorist. Right. You send kids that get athletic scholarships, rape kids in college, then join pro football for millions of fictitious dollars. Okay? You got one man that joined the government to protect Super Bowl assets, sponsorship dollars, and corporate tax benefits to the government. Okay? NFL, you owe some back taxes. In NFL, you're getting owned by the Department of Defense. As I said, people deserve a second chance as Americans to know who was wearing that American flag anymore. Okay? My sons, my daughters not going for no war no more. You gotta be at least 32 to join the military in my country. And all those guys all over the world right now, you're all coming back home. You're all coming back home on my dollar. Okay? Because nobody should be buying or flying an Air Force plane right now. Nobody should. There's no essential government. There's no essential personnel. There's no essential general that would work for free except me. Okay? I'm enlisted. I volunteered for this shit. I may never retire. My hat might say retired. But guess what? My eyes don't stop looking for terrorists. Thanks post 9/11. As I said, I got secret access codes to all fighter pilots and planes. I got friends that work on nukes nuclear launch codes, nuclear missile silos all over the country. My dad was in the Navy on the USS Lexington. As I said, our young men, young women don't need to serve in active duty and kill themselves for their old parents. And they don't need to work $12,000 a year, pay for Medicare, Social Security, and get taxed, and only live on $12,000 a year. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. You got 2 million Americans fighting for this country in uniform at 18. Then you got 2 fucking lazy ass gangsters spending $50,000 laying in bed in prison, private prison, state prison, county prison, all paid for by the federal Justice Department. But we'd rather have them sit in prison and die and waste our time as American heroes, the guys that go to basic training all over the top secret country, waste their lives for the vow of the nation as killers, murderers, drug dealers, and people that steal government money through nice, unfraudulent taxpayers. They sit in prison and play tennis. They're allowed to use the internet. They're allowed to get letters from fucking other terrorists all over the world. You have the guy that fucking shot up Colorado's movie theaters during a Batman movie still, Florence Max. Guess what? He's a terrorist number 1. Terrorist number 2. Chapo's number 1. Okay. I think we need to seize all assets to anybody in federal penitentiary. We don't give them no money. Because guess what? They stole the Constitution away from us in the billions of drug dollars. Okay? If my daughter goes into the Air Force, which she should by congressionally mandatedness, she's not going to deserve $12,000 a year over my dead body again. She's going to be a world leader and knows more about nuclear missile technology than maybe none of her other friends at school. So as I said, I'm 32. George Bush, you're dead to me. I'm going to find you and take you to a federal arms committee chair and commit you for treason and war criminal. You're a war criminal of America, so is your family. Everybody that you associate with, war criminals, warmongers, war profiteers. You can't send an enlisted guy to Iraq, Halliburton right next door working on Predators, making $250,000 a year, as I'm in harm's way moving a box of trays with spec ops teams for a Christmas mission in Iraq. As I've been to Kuwait, I transported generals of staff, and guess what? How big is your fucking bank account corporately earned somewhere in a secret holding facility? Please, please. I'll ask John Kerry the same question. I'll ask Barack Obama the same question. I'll ask everybody that made more than $400,000 as a president who has the most assets, because they shouldn't. They shouldn't. So as somebody that made $12,000 a year to the IRS, okay, public knowledge on the internet, $12,000 a year to kill me for my country as a career enlisted pilot, career enlisted degree holders of the United States Air Force Community College during wartime. You guys owe me so goddamn much money. That guy that got cancer working on a guy that got cancer worked on a public school using Monsanto fertilizer. That man made $270 million putting fertilizer on a baseball field during recess. Cool, he's dying. Good, good, he's gonna be dead. Good. Old as fuck, don't care. But how is that legally equal to somebody that fought for this country in 174 fucking countries over a 10-year lifespan. Ingesting hydrazine, diesel fuel, nuclear technology, radar equipment, have quick, UHF band frequencies, VHF band frequencies, and everything that can blow up my fucking seed without having a child again. So please let me find out if I got one drop of cancer cell in my body. Or George Bush can just give up all his money and put it in my bank account, as he's still committed to treason like Hitler did, with our weapons of mass destruction facing Saddam and the rest of the world all the time.
Hi. Tired. Yeah, I got 2 more.
As I said, United States DOD generals,
Right.
Department of Joint Chiefs of Staff, and all those guys at the top that are elected,
Well,
that are volunteered by people that they paid to be elected from, you guys don't get a paycheck right now.
From law.
So you burn all your cash and you got no more cash. Why do you have more cash than your yearly allowance of cash?
Well, it hasn't.
And senators, your kids cannot live off your post-war
Yeah, they got like 2 or 3.
invested dollars.
Yeah.
You can't do 40 years in the Senate and collect tax revenues for voting for war and having your fucking kids spend $15,000 a month cash through a FedEx system, and then I haven't even got my money yet in 5 fucking years for life. Take that, Senator Dick. Things I see around the world, that sucks. You know what I mean? Trying to equal out balance of power. School teachers shouldn't make $1 more than somebody that's gonna die in a war zone. Now they're on strike, right? That don't make sense. That don't make sense. I'm on strike for my for the kids. Well, why can't I strike a war zone?
Right.
Why can I defend my homeland, not be pushed to some other homeland,
Right.
and protect myself and not
You
get
know
promised
why?
not be dead?
Because you volunteered, right? That's why.
You said it right. I volunteered. I must be fucked up psychologically to volunteer to go kill people and send friends home, dead or alive.
I'm totally against Afghanistan. What have you? It's all about the oil and stuff, but that's what's keeping us alive. I mean, basically, we're robbing them. We're robbing them of the oil, but still.
Hey, George Bush, are you robbing oil from Afghanistan and Iraq right now? Please. Please tell me if you're robbing oil from Iraq for pennies a day and we're paying $4 a gallon out here. Please tell me that. That's not war profiteering. And what is it? Price gouging since 9/11.
I don't know what the fuck Vietnam was about.
Exactly. Nobody knows what the fuck Vietnam's about.
Well, yeah.
I said I got recording on YouTube right now. I said I might top secret generals want to see my Air Force face.
Yo, my friend up there, he had 4 I'm already 10 years.
Exactly. 10 years ain't easy. They got people in 10 years in prison gonna get Social Security.
Okay.
Right? Right.
Yeah.
At $30,000 to $50,000 a bed per year, that don't make sense. Because it doesn't take $1 to fucking make somebody go to sleep when they're
Right.
there.
Okay.
Or check their butthole from working on a free slave farm in Arkansas.
Tell me, it's just a mess.
Been there.
It's a mess.
Been there. It's a mess. I don't know what the feds did to me.
Put a chip in you.
As I said, I give the Air Force, Dr. Ellen whoever, free focus as Air Force liaison to my ass, okay?
Can I get
Sure.
I need a lighter. I think I got one.
When
I got Omaha Blues. I
when I
don't do
got
Force of Better.
surgery for my shoulder, my right shoulder, anything else?
No.
And so I think they could have chipped me. Then he started doing stuff I didn't want to do.
Right. Yeah.
fucking government got all kinds of shit going on. Like, deep.
I said I'm at a VA in West Los Angeles. Eric Prince, I know you're the owner of Blackwater, making $100 billion a year. Guess what? You're gonna die soon. You might as well send that money back to me. Thank you.
Couldn't crack in the ghetto.
Yeah, the government.
I was an enlisted aviation technician, then cross-trained to an aeronautical engineer.
Oh,
That's
really?
enlisted. Yes, ma'am. So I was the enlisted liaison between faggot Air Force Academy grads, two real motherfuckers in the back. You know what I mean?
They had an Air Force cadet with you guys?
Well, when an Air Force pilot goes through
What,
school,
was
right?
it on a base?
Air Force Academy is in Colorado Springs, right?
No, but it was on your base. They were on your base, right?
They're all the pilots in the Air Force. Okay, there's 1,000 people slot per year that goes into the Air Force. High school, mostly National Honor Society with sports athleticism. Get congressional review, signed signature by senators and who not, you know, House of Representatives. Few signatures to get up here, right? I'm active duty, 9/11, enlisted. My dog's gotta go. My kids gotta go. Cause right here, 1,000 people. Each one of those kids per year go to school for free at $100,000 a year consistently. Next year, another 100,000 per person. 440,000 go to the Air Force Academy at one single year at a time. Summer breaks off, right? Summer breaks off, just like college.
Right.
Anywhere else, Ivy League university. Okay, they got 4 years. Half of that class goes pilot school. The other half of that class goes other.
Oh,
Other, not flying, but critical,
right.
demanded smart jobs, right?
Okay.
To Pentagon, to somewhere in Honduras. Lieutenant, but they have between a 4-year commitment after the Air Force Academy, then they can quit. But a pilot has a 10-year commitment because it's so expensive. And their knowledge is quite in the air kind of thing, right? To astronaut, to cyber, to nuclear, to piloting, to moving SEAL teams all over the world. And nuclear deployed missiles and patrolling the skies over no-fly zones in other countries. So these guys make a contract of 10 years, a 14-year commitment altogether, right? These guys make brand new $50,000-$60,000 a year, and then maybe $2,000 a month living, $400-$500 a month food allowance, free medical, free education. But the enlisted guy, basic day one. My schooling was the longest, 1 year long as electronics and F-16s to make sure their billion-dollar planes are safe for pilots, kids, lieutenants, because they got to go through the school, college, and then they got to go through pilot training, which is 2 years individual per aircraft per mission. And then I'm working on these jets year one after basic. Year one, touching $50 million jet, $50 million jet. I'm touching $50 million jets at Luke Air Force Base on F-16s, right? But for a base that has over 200 F-16s, they need it fixed. I go over there. Okay. So that's multi-billion dollars in assets and recovery. Gas, right? Burning out like $15,000 an hour of gas with everybody on the ramp, and, you know, insurance reasons, I guess. Okay. Then the pilot hasn't even done year one yet in an F-16 after their pilot trainings and all their instruments. I'm still working on plane. All right, pilot, don't over G it because you're brand new and you want to play Top Gun. You know. And year 6. I noticed I could be a flying guy. I could do operations. Enlisted gunner, enlisted loadmaster, enlisted boom operator, enlisted flight engineer, and others. but less critical. Like crypto linguist, aerial linguist, aerial combat controllers, pararescue, down pilots, right? That's just an Air Force badge. That's a pilot wings, right? That's a World War II, because there ain't no World War III except 9/11. So I flew these C-130s from 1960s to modern. I did 10 years. I said I did 10 years without, but I got 2 degrees. Associates of Science in Aeronautics and Aviation Operations Management, and F-16's Advanced Wire Repair and Nuclear Capable Strike Maneuvers. As I could wire troubleshoot all these things. Right? I get out at year 9.6 months. Honorably. I served Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation New Dawn, Operation Iraqi Freedom. I was homeless for 4 years. I had a top secret clearance in basic training. I ran out of money, became homeless. Exactly. That's new to me. That's a new idea to me. But what took care of me was I provided for protection to the world. I wasn't a businessman. I wasn't a businessman. Businessman knows how to steal money from people with words. I know how to get the job done with action. Few words are left. You know what I mean? Diplomacy only reaches so far before Nagasaki and Hiroshima happened, right? So, as George W. Bush Jr. and his same entourage as George Bush to run the country again, 2 million Americans either yearly or since 9/11, which I think is more yearly, because 1% is actually active duty, less than that is guard, less than that is reserve, to like civil air patrol station, right? Militiamen and what, all the way down to the mama shack with a rifle. Okay, let's make $12,000 a year. Now I make $12,000 a month. But the falseness is I should get paid more to live longer than it needs to be. I should not live poor and go to war, and a kid out of high school goes into a movie acting career and makes $1 million a year, or a football player, or a basketball star, or these. I know it's a difference between 2 million people that work here over there in harm's way, but if your baby died over there, you get his $400,000. He's never made $400,000, but $12,000 his first year. As he's paying his Social Security off, as he's paying his Medicare off, as he's paying taxes off, and he's paying his own life insurance policy, so then his family can have his death benefits. Which harms me because my family can get $150,000 on my dead body if I'm on the flight line 1 second after it sucks me up through the intake, without me ever collecting $400,000 in my service branch. I got a cigarette for you. You need a cigarette? Good.
Navy, Army, Air Force.
That's all it is.
You gotta think of bases covered. Okay, I'm not worried up there. Air Force too. It was good talking to you.
Nice to meet you. Good man. Got a lighter. Yeah, I got my lighter. I think one more. I don't have a lighter. You have a lighter? Were you in the Navy?
No, my husband.
Oh, my dad was. So was my grandpa. I was born in Jacksonville, Florida.
You sound like it.
A lot of yelling at people. I don't know. I got Navy blood, but Air Force blood running through. My dad's like, you'll have steak and lobster on weekends, and you gotta get stuck on a boat. I said, I don't want to be on that boat cruise.
Beautiful day today, huh?
Real.
No raining.
I've really never seen a bad day in Los Angeles. You know what it is? Even the rain was actually quite nice.
It didn't rain actually. I don't think it rained last year much.
It did. I was here exactly 1 year ago. It rained a whole week.
Where do you come from?
Jacksonville, Florida. Got out of the Air Force back in 2014. On a run for terrorists. Long
So
story
you
short.
how long you been in California?
A year.
You like California?
Ambitions. I'm from a place that's called Dixon, Illinois. Know where that is? Ronald Reagan lived there. And he was an Air Force reservist. He made a name for himself. Just kind of all in the same line, yeah. At least I tried, but I'm good.
So you live around this area?
I actually live in a castle.
Oh, Castle Lake?
Castle is in Hollywood.
So nice.
Yeah,
Yes, it is a nice place.
it took me a while to get it. I had a New Year's party there that lasted like 7 days, nights. Crazy.
I bet. You're a young kid, you know? Right now it's a party time.
32, fully retired.
Oh
plus
my
pay a year.
So you're already disabled?
Mhm. Social Security and VA.
Service connected, huh? Big time.
Service honors.
Good. So you better take care of yourself and take your chance to do
Well, I
it.
gotta take care of America. So how did? Well,
I worked with veterans for almost 30 years
yeah.
in the assisted living, and I had about 80% veterans over there. Most of them disabled also. Vietnam, Korea. We still have a World War II couple. Wow.
Yeah, we don't have a World War III hat. I can't wear it. I got an application. I don't know if there's a waiting list, but my health is not really all that good.
Do you take medicine?
A few different ones, but I have respiratory problems.
Oh.
But let's say thrust fuel, there's a poison in here that's toxic. If this crashes, it'll basically, it's called hydrogen. Potently dangerous. Once this blows up into the ground, it'll spread out for maybe 100 plus feet, saturated with toxic dead air, and nothing's able to breathe and live. But they don't leak that often. It's potentially dangerous and it can cause seriously bad things. Then I retrained to C-130s, but I'm inside flying 30,000 feet at 800 hours. Combat experience. Overpressurization, exhaust, diesel fuel, hydraulic fluid, oil. It's things that this cigarette's not really burning my lungs. Just, who knows?
Sounds like engineering.
Napalm in the morning. Not here. But it doesn't matter. I think I'm doing alright.
Yeah.
I'm just starting eating vegan food, drinking more water, going to the beach, all those practical, healthy living situations.
watching for 30 years.
My grandfather married, my dad's new, my uncle's new. It's different. To hang out with the tough guy. It's different. It's all for a better world, though. Better for the kids, at least. Right
You
now,
have kids?
I have a few kids. I have a daughter that's 4.
Aww. Where does she live?
She's with her mom in Boston. She made a really big career change. Taking care of her.
They're cute.
Yeah. My daughter doesn't know it yet. She's going to join the Air Force.
Like my dad.
I think go to graduate school at like Notre Dame.
Ah.
Yeah. She's got to live the life that I missed.
Why not? You can't afford to go ahead, right?
Every parent says that.
Yeah.
Live the life I missed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my dad was so naked, bro. He's like, join the Air Force.
Enjoy and take care, okay?
All right, ladies. Have a great day.
Continue doing my job.
Always. As I said, that's me. Let's go ahead and make America great again. As I said, I'm a full pardon. How you doing, America? This is me. This goofy ass truck hat. Thanks, Sam Walton. Alright, I did everything I could in there. Upward mobility. I said. My social security card should read 007. How you doing, Doc? Said Donald Trump. How you doing? You might remember me of such long stories of bashing you as my president, but I respect you so much greatly since Little Rascals. Thank you, sir. So there's a beautiful rose garden here. And as I said, I think the Air Force is watching me. I'm always on my good behavior. But when the bodies say hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor at Air Force basic training with Air Force jets. Who should I let hit the floor? I didn't say let it roll. 1 camera, 2 camera, 3 camera, 4 camera, 5 camera. I said, if you like Los Angeles VA system, I think highly of them. I give them only a 3 out of 4 stars. Some are subject to. We gotta be ready for these 9/11 veterans. Either need a. As I said, let's do this right, America. Boop, 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 boop. Hey guys, I'm back making America great again. Yeah.
Hold on. You want to check in?
Yeah, just a quick 10-minute outlook. What I need to get. I'm out of Prozac, and the doctor says I have an appointment next week, and I think that's bullshit. You know what I mean? You can't give me a week to kill somebody and say it's not their fault. I'm being live and recorded by the Air Force. Use restroom. I gotta change some stuff.